Good evening and welcome to all today's discussion on approach to a patient with chest pain. এখন চেস্ট পেইন যখন আমরা আলোচনা করব তখন সাধারণত চেস্ট পেইনে there are a lot of causes of chest pain. চেস্ট পেইন ইভালুয়েশন করার সময় বা অ্যাপ্রোচ করার সময় আমাদেরকে মনে রাখতে হবে সেটা হলো as there is a lot of causes of chest pain, সুতরাং চেস্ট পেইন নিয়ে রোগী আসলে আমাদেরকে এই ডিফারেনশিয়াল ডায়াগনোসিস অথবা কজিওলজি এটা মনে রেখে সেভাবে চিন্তা করতে হবে, সেভাবে অ্যাপ্রোচ করতে হবে, সেভাবে আমাদেরকে হিস্ট্রি নিতে হবে, সেভাবে we have to do investigations as well as examinations also, and according to our findings, history findings, examination findings and investigation findings, we have to reach a cause but diagnosis of a cause of chest pain. তাহলে আমরা যদি এখানে দেখো এই যে সামনে তোমাদের একটা স্লাইড আছে, স্লাইডের মধ্যে আমরা অনেক স্ট্রাকচার দেখতেছি, যার লট অফ স্ট্রাকচার। সেটা হলো যেমন সেন্ট্রাল যেটা আছে, সেন্ট্রালি দেখা যাচ্ছে এখানে হার্ট আছে বা তার চারিপাশে পেরিকার্ডিয়াম আছে, তারপরে উপরে ট্রাকিয়া আছে, তার পিছনে ইসোফেগাস আছে। তার মানে আমরা যে বলি যে মেডিয়াস্টিনাম যেটা আছে, তাহলে মেডিয়াস্টিনাম there are a lot of structures in the mediastinum. এই মেডিয়াস্টিনাল স্ট্রাকচার যেটা আছে, মেডিস্ট্রাকচারসে যদি কোনো ধরনের প্যাথোলজি থাকে, দিস প্যাথোলজি ক্যান প্রডিউস চেস্ট পেইন। এটা সাধারণত হচ্ছে আমার সেন্ট্রাল চেস্ট পেইন বা সেন্ট্রালি লোকেটেড দিস স্ট্রাকচারস। এছাড়া আমাদের দুই পাশে যেটা আছে দেখো, দুই পাশে যে আমাদের লাংস আছে, তার চারিপাশে আছে প্লুরা আছে, এবং এই লাংস আর প্লুরাকে কভার করে দেওয়ার জন্য দেখো এখানে বাইরের দিকে আছে মাসেল, এখানে আছে হলো রিবস, তার চারিপাশে আছে সাবকিউটেনিয়াস টিস্যুস এন্ড তার উপরে আছে আন্ডারলাইং স্কিন, ওভারলাইং স্কিন। এখানে ওভারলাইং স্কিন বলো এবং তার আন্ডারলাইং যে সাবকিউটেনিয়াস টিস্যু, তারপরে হলো রিবস, তারপরে ইন্টারকোস্টাল মাসেলস, এবং তার উপরে যে আমাদের চেস্ট ওয়াল মাসেলস, এই যে যে জিনিসগুলো আছে, এখানে যে কোনো ধরনের যদি প্যাথোলজি হয়, যে কোনো ধরনের অ্যাবনর্মালিটিস, এই অ্যাবনর্মালিটিস হলে কিন্তু চেস্ট পেইন হতে পারে। এখন যেহেতু স্ট্রাকচার গুলো যে দুই সাইডে যে লোকেটেড, অর্থাৎ হলো লেফট অ্যান্ড রাইট সাইডে লোকেটেড, সুতরাং চেস্ট পেইন সাধারণত এগুলো এফেক্টেড হলে আমাদের উই এক্সপেরিয়েন্স চেস্ট পেইন অন আইদার সাইড অফ দ্য চেস্ট। সুতরাং সেক্ষেত্রে সাধারণত সেন্ট্রাল পেইনটা একটু কম হবে। এছাড়া আমাদের ডায়াফ্রাম আছে, এই ডায়াফ্রামে যদি কোনো প্যাথোলজি থাকে তাহলে এই প্যাথোলজির জন্য আমাদের চেস্ট পেইন হতে পারে। ইভেন এই যে স্কিনে যদি কোনো প্যাথোলজি যেমন হার্পিস জস্টার এরকম যদি হয়, ট্রমা যদি হয়, তাহলে কিন্তু চেস্ট পেইন হতে পারে। তাহলে এই যে চেস্ট পেইনের জন্য আমাদের we have a lot of causes, এই জিনিসগুলো আমাদের মনে রাখতে হবে। এর বাইরে দেখা যাচ্ছে আমাদের কিছু সাইকোজেনিক কারণ আছে বা যে অ্যাংজাইটি আছে, সেগুলোতেও পেশেন্ট মে এক্সপেরিয়েন্স চেস্ট পেইন। তো আমাদের যদি কেস সিনারিও দেখি, সেক্ষেত্রে আমরা যদি আলোচনা করি 65 years old, hypertensive, smoker, diabetic, dyslipidemic gentleman from some district presented with central chest tightness on exertion for the last 1 month. তো এখানে কি হচ্ছে, পেশেন্ট এক্সপেরিয়েন্স চেস্ট পেইন অন এক্সারশন, এবং পেইনের লোকেশনটা কোথায়, সেন্ট্রাল চেস্ট পেইন। His pulse was 104 beats per minute, BP 150/95 millimeter mercury, A1C is 8.2%. That is, patient has diabetes, hypertensive, and by this diabetes and hypertension was uncontrolled. His ECG was normal. What should be his next investigation? What is the probable cause of his chest tightness? There are some diagnoses here, differential diagnosis like esophageal spasm, chronic stubble angina, acute coronary syndrome, acute pericarditis. The history থেকে আমরা এখানে বুঝতেছি this patient is suffering from chronic stubble angina, as this patient has experienced chest pain on exertion, and he has some risk factors like hypertension and diabetes mellitus. Though his ECG is normal, but he is suffering from chronic stubble angina most likely. In that cases, to establish the diagnosis, we may have to do some investigation like exercise tolerance test. Even patient may need coronary angiogram to confirm his diagnosis. এখন আরেকটা কেস যদি আমরা দেখি, 55 years old, hypertensive, smoker, diabetic and dyslipidemic gentleman from some places of Dhaka presented with central chest tightness and with excessive sweating for the last 30 minutes. The patient now has acute chest pain, and this chest pain is lasting more than 30 minutes, and this chest pain Even the patient may experience it even at rest, and this pain is not relieved by taking sublingual nitrates. His pulse is 104 beats per minute, BP, but this patient is diabetic and hypertensive, and his ECG showed ST segment elevation and bone to believe. This patient has got acute coronary syndrome. আমরা হিস্ট্রি থেকে বুঝতেছি acute coronary syndrome. So acute coronary syndrome এখানে patient so ST elevated and mitral infarction যেতে ST elevation পাচ্ছে আমি B1 থেকে B5. So this patient has diagnosed ST elevation mitral infarction and as a part of the acute coronary syndrome. So the আগের ক্ষেত্রে chronic stable angina, this may be an important cause of central chest pain. Here we have seen that this, a patient with acute coronary syndrome with ST elevated MI may also have central chest pain, and this chest pain is really not relieved by sublingual nitrates, and this patient may experience chest pain even at rest. And this is the another case, 32 years old smoker gentleman from somewhere in the place of Bangladesh, presented with central chest pain for last 5 days. With fever, his pulse was 120 beats per minute, BP 140 by 90. This patient is hypertensive, and his pulse is, this patient is tachycardic. His ECG showed ST segment elevation and lead V1 to V6 and lead to 3 ABF. What was the probable cause of his chest pain? এখন এখানে দেখি যদি আমরা সেটা হলো যে এই যে পেশেন্ট কিন্তু ইয়াং but smoker and he has got tachycardia and patient is some hypertensive. And he has also, along with central chest pain, he had also history of 5 days fever. এখানে ফিভারের সাথে আমাদের একটু যে আগেরটার সাথে ডিফারেন্সটা কি, এখানে ST elevated MI যে ছিল, ওই রোগীর central chest pain ছিল, not relieved by taking sublingual nitrate. That patient had no history of fever, but this patient has history of fever along with ST elevation, and this ST elevation is in the anterior lead as well as inferior lead. That is widespread ST elevation. So when patient has widespread ST elevation, and in that cases, we should always have suspicion that this patient may have acute pericarditis. If this patient has acute chest pain, if this patient has fever also, so we have to keep in mind that this patient may have acute pericarditis. So acute pericarditis is an important differential diagnosis, especially in that case. So this patient is esophageal spasm, chronic stable, acute coronary syndrome, acute pericarditis. So this patient is suffering from acute pericarditis. This is the another case. This is a 42 years old smoker gentleman from some places of Bangladesh, presented with central chest pain for the last 35 days, including at night, lying flat, relieved by taking antacid syrup. So this patient has got central chest pain, but this patient especially experienced this type of chest pain when he is lying flat during the night, and this chest pain is relieved by taking antacid syrups. This patient may have, that is reflux esophagitis, may be an important cause of central chest pain, especially in that patient is also a smoker. And what are the probable cause of his chest pain? It may be actually due to reflux esophagitis in that cases. If we see another cases, a 22 years old lady presented with central chest pain with palpitation for the last 5 months. Her pulse was 110 beats per minute, that is LAD. She is presented with central chest pain along with palpitations. And she is tachycardic, and his blood pressure is normal, ECG normal. Even she had normal echocardiographic findings as well as his ETT done previously for 2 times, but that are negative. That is normal ETT report. So she had chest pain, but his ECG is normal as well as echocardiography and ETT. Both investigations were negative. What may be this probable chest pain cause? So this patient may have, as this patient is a young female, so we should have keep the suspicion of patient having generalized anxiety disorder. So this patient may have anxiety disorder. This is another case. A 25 years old lady presented with central chest heaviness with palpitations with low grade fever for the last 2 months. So for the last 2 months, he had central chest pain, central chest heaviness with palpitations, as well as patient has low-grade fever. When we're discussing a patient with low-grade fever, we should have to keep in mind that this patient may, if this fever is persisting for the prolonged period, especially for more than 4 weeks or 2 weeks, then we should have to keep in mind that this patient may have tuberculosis, especially in perspective of Bangladesh. So her ECG showed low voltage ECG, that is so low voltage ECG have some differential diagnosis. So pericardial effusion is an important differential diagnosis of the low voltage ECG. Echocardiography showed echo-free space in pericardium, that is the patient has pericardial effusion, and this pericardial effusion may be due to tuberculous pericarditis. So his cause of this chest pain is pericardial involvement due to pericardial effusion, and this pericardial effusion is occurred due to tuberculosis. So tuberculosis may cause pericardial effusion, and this pericardial effusion may produce central chest tightness, about chest heaviness especially. So we have discussed a lot of cases with chest pain. There are a lot of causes of chest pain, and there may be some cardiac causes, there may be some vascular causes, there may be some pulmonary causes, there may be some gastrointestinal causes, or musculoskeletal causes, infectious causes, psychological causes, skin and soft tissue causes. There is, when considering cardiac causes, patient may have stable angina or unstable angina. That is acute coronary syndrome or myocardial infarction, or patient still or may have pericarditis that can cause the central chest pain. Patient may have some vascular causes that may include aortic dissection, and patient may have pulmonary hypertension that can cause chest pain. Or there may be some pulmonary causes like pneumothorax, that is lung causes like pneumothorax, pleuritis or pneumonia, tracheobronchitis that can cause the chest pain also. The patient may have some gastrointestinal causes like esophageal reflux disease, peptic ulcer disease. Patient may have cholecystitis or pancreatitis. All this can cause chest pain. Patient may have musculoskeletal causes, that is costo-bronchitis, trauma, or there may be trauma to the skin or soft tissue, or to the fracture of the ribs also. Patient may have infections like herpes zoster that can involve the skin and causes the chest pain also. Patient may have some psychological causes like panic, depression, anxiety disorder, or there may be some skin and soft tissue causes like fibromyalgia, or any tumors or lesions that can involve the skin and soft tissues, and that can produce the chest pain, especially involving that side. So these are the actually a lot of causes of chest pain. We should keep these causes in mind to reach a definite diagnosis of a cause of chest pain. And these are also some causes of chest pain we have already discussed. These are some life-threatening causes of chest pain like acute coronary syndrome. We have already discussed. The patient may have aortic dissection or pulmonary embolism, or pneumothorax or tension pneumothorax, or pericardial tamponade, or medial stenosis like esophageal rupture, and that can cause the life-threatening cause of chest pain. So we consider the chest pain. We have to keep in mind that patient may have some cardiac causes, or patient may have some non-cardiac causes. All cardiac causes are not ischemic. There may be some non-ischemic causes like pericarditis or myocarditis, or patient may have ischemic cause of chest pain like angina, unstable angina, myocardial infarctions. And there may be some non-cardiac causes of chest pain like gastroesophageal cause, non-gastroesophageal cause, gastroesophageal reflux, esophageal spasm, peptic ulcer disease. Non-gastroesophageal cause include aortic dissection, pulmonary embolism, pneumonia, pneumothorax, and there may be some musculoskeletal causes. So there are actually some cardiac non-ischemic causes, non-cardiac causes, and cardiac ischemic causes. Even patient cardiac syndrome X that can also cause the chest pain. And there may be some microvascular angina, that is maybe interferal dysfunction, atherosclerotic plaque, coronary spasm. and that can causes the ischemic type of chest pain. So these are some differential diagnoses of the chest pain. There are some common causes of chest pain. So when a patient came with chest pain, we have to have some history, clear history to reach a goal of diagnosis. So when a patient comes with chest pain, in that cases, we have to have some history of the chest pain, like we have to ask the location of the chest pain, we have to ask any radiation of the chest pain, we have to see the character, we have to ask any precipitating factors, or we have to ask any relieving factors, and we have to also ask the patient if he or she have any associated fissures. The location, when considering location, we have to see if the chest pain is the central chest pain, or if is the lateral or peripheral or localized type of chest pain. If there is any radiation or not, the radiation may be in the jaw or neck or shoulder or arm, and this may be due to ischemic type of chest pain. And characters like ischemia or ischemic type of chest pain may have tight or squeezing or choking type of chest pain. And this chest pain, ischemic type of chest pain, is usually precipitated by an exertion or by emotion. And this type of chest pain may relieve by taking sublingual nitrates or taking by rest. And there may be some breathlessness or shortness of breath, especially in case of ischemic type of chest pain. So we have to consider this history or elaboration of the history of this chest pain when considering a patient having chest pain. So we have to take also some questions already we have discussed here. That is, we have to find out the risk factors, 5 risk factors. Especially, we have to take the history of diabetes, we take the history of hypertension, we have to take the history of smoking, we have to take the history of dyslipidemia, and we also have to take the history of any family history is positive or not. That is, if any family member of the patients is suffering from ischemic heart disease or not, or he or his any relatives, especially first relatives died from any cause of ischemic heart disease, especially acute coronary syndrome or not. So we have to take this history elaborately. So these are the actually elaboration of the chest pain. This is the evaluation of chest pain, the Canadian Cardiovascular Society, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, and grade 4. Or these are the severity of the chest pain. This is the scale to measure the severity of the chest pain. This is the coronary artery disease assessment, especially when the patient comes with chest pain or exertion, then you have to some initial rest and stress evaluation. We have to do some investigations like ECG, echocardiography, exercise tolerance may be needed, and we may need some invasive investigation also. And in that cases, we may reach the diagnosis of the cause of the coronary artery disease involvement. Is the coronary artery disease treatment algorithm? As the patient is suffering, if the patient suffers from ischemic type of chest pain, then we have to give some drugs that relieve the angina, and that may be nitrates or beta blockers, or we actually will give the some drugs, that is some antiplatelets. We have to give some statin type of drugs, and so there may be some anti-ischemic drug like nitrates, beta blockers. There may be some anti-metabolites like trimetazidine or analgin, and may be needed. Statin should be given, and if the patient has other complications, in that cases, patient should be treated the complications. Is the structural terminology of the chest pain, and the ischemic type of chest pain. These are the coronary artery disease. So when a patient came with chest pain, we have to take the detailed history, and then we have to do investigation, some examinations. We have to do ECG, we have to do X-ray, and we have some ancillary investigations like some lipid profile, also blood sugar. Then we have to do some exercise tolerance, echocardiography, exercise tolerance tests may be needed. So when starting the coronary artery disease, patient may have endothelial dysfunction and or mild atherosclerotic plaque. That is when atherosclerotic plaque is less than 60%, and the patient may have significant atherosclerotic plaque. It may have 60 to 99%. Or patient may have 100% block by plaque rupture, thrombus, or embolism. This is called acute coronary syndrome. According to the involvement of the coronary artery, the presentation varies. So if the patient have only endothelial dysfunction, patient may be asymptomatic, or patient may have occasionally chest pain. If patient have minor atherosclerotic plaque, patient is usually asymptomatic, but patient may have chest pain at times. And if the patient has significant atherosclerotic plaque, less than 60% and to 99%, in that case, patient usually experience chest pain on exertion, especially on heavy exercise, or patient when walking after taking meal. And when patient has plaque rupture, thrombus, or embolism, in that cases, patient may experience pain even at rest, and in that case, the patient had 100% block. And these acute coronary syndrome include unstable angina, non-stable MI, and stable MI. These are the emergencies commonly presented with acute chest pain. And these are the diagnosis, how we can diagnose the ischemic type of chest pain. We may have ECG, echocardiography, exercise tolerance test. We may have angiogram, CT angiogram, or coronary angiogram also. Patient may need IVAS or OCT may be needed. Even patient may have, if patient has acute coronary syndrome, then some biomarkers investigation like troponin I, troponin T, or LDH or CKMB may be needed. And when considering treatment, we have already discussed when patient has ischemic type of chest pain, to relieve the ischemia, a patient may need nitrates, beta blockers, or some anti-metabolites, or even calcium channel blocker may be needed. And so the patient may need some antiplatelets, patient may need anti-statins. Actually, these are the drugs a patient should get. This is another case scenario. A 55 years old hypertensive smoker, diabetic, and dyslipidemic gentleman presented with central chest tightness with excessive sweating for the 30 minutes, not relieved by taking sublingual nitrates. His pulse was 100 beats per minute, PP raised, and A1C 8.2%. He showed ST segment depression beyond to which. In that case, in the previous case, patient got similar type of history. That is central chest pain, not taking by not relieved by taking sublingual nitrates. But in the previous case, the patient has ST segment elevation. But in that case, the patient has ST segment depression beyond to beta 5. But his troponin is level that is the troponin positive. So patient has got troponin positive, but patient ST segment depression. So patient is suffering from non-ST elevated MI. So when considering acute coronary syndrome, usually patient may have unstable angina, non-stable MI, or stable MI. In ECG, if patient has stable MI, then it is designated as stable MI. And if patient may have normal ECG, or patient may have STT changes or ST depression, in that case, patient may have unstable angina or non-stable MI. If patient has raised enzyme, then it is called a non-stable MI. If the enzyme is slightly raised or enzyme is normal, then it is called unstable angina. So in that case, the patient is suffering from acute coronary syndrome, non-stable MI. In that cases, actually, the patient has mildly elevated normal, troponin normal, but he has got TF changes in V1 to V4. So this is diagnosis as a unstable angina. In that case, patient has got ECG, showed low voltage ECG, and there is echo-free space in the pericardium. So this patient has pericardial effusion. And in that cases, is another case where a patient has global hypokinesia, patient has got history of fever, and ejection fraction is low, but troponin I positive. That is, there is a muscle damage. So as the patient has got fever, history of fever, and shortness of breath, so this patient has got some degree of myocarditis, and this myocarditis lead to the development of the heart failure. So this is the case of the myocarditis. So this is the another case here. The patient has got echocardiography. Patient has mitral valvular disease, that is mitral valve prolapse. So this mitral valve prolapse can also cause the chest pain. Here is the Marfan syndrome, and this patient Marfan syndrome may have aortic aneurysm, and this aortic aneurysm can cause chest pain also. So this is vascular causes of chest pain. Here we see this patient is Marfan, suffering from Marfan syndrome, and we all know that in Marfan syndrome, patient may have aortic valvular disease, as well as then patient may have aortic aneurysm. So aortic aneurysm can cause also the central chest pain. In that cases, patient ECG showed left ventricular hypertrophy due to patient has hypertension, and there is a presented with severe tearing central chest pain, excessive sweating. So this patient has got severe tearing central chest. This patient has severe central chest pain, life-threatening chest pain, and excessive sweating for the last 30 months, or lead by taking sublingual nitrates. So this patient may have aortic dissection. So aortic dissection may also cause a life-threatening cause of chest pain. And this is also another cases. Patient is a smoker, diabetic, dyslipidemic, and the patient has history of central chest pain with burning sensation in mouth while taking food. So there is a pathology in the mouth, and usually this pathology may be due to there may be fungal infection, as this patient has got diabetes uncontrolled. As the diabetes uncontrolled, so this patient may have esophagitis and fungal infection. And this can cause the central chest pain also, as there may be mouth ulceration of fungus in the mouth, as the patient may have fungus in the esophagus, and this esophagus causes esophageal candidiasis, and that can cause the chest pain. So actually, these are the we have learned a lot of causes of chest pain. Then maybe some central causes of central chest pain, some maybe because of the localized or peripheral type of chest pain. And so when a patient comes with chest pain, we have to keep in mind that there may be a lot of causes of chest pain, and we have to keep in mind actually the anatomy of the different structures within the chest box. If we can keep in mind the anatomy, and then actually it is very easy to find out the actual causes of chest pain usually. So I think we can stop here now. So thank you very much for patient sharing. Allah Hafiz, and hopefully we'll see in the next class.